Yes, your boy Crypto Blood, and welcome to another Kicking It session. And today I have Bill H from the Webbot room. Crazy thing, guys. I swear I didn't know who he was until he logged in, and I said, "Hey, I know that face." He was at the meetup I had in New York. Bill, what's going on, man? Thanks for jumping on here with me.
It's all good, Crypto Blood. First, I want to thank you very much. I feel privileged being on your channel. Yeah, what's going on? You tell me. There's a lot going on.
It's a lot going on.
Crazy year.
Yeah, it's been a crazy year. Much different than where we left off in New York. You know, it was kind of like we still had hopes of a rebound, and you know, I didn't even expect this this deep. I thought maybe a 50% retracement would be proper.
I think nobody did. Nobody did.
So, you know, kind of first, Bill, before we get into it, let me know your story, your professional background, what you do from day to day, and then kind of give me that event, that time, that person, that place that got you into cryptocurrencies, man. I love hearing that story.
All right. I think I have a pretty decent story. So, okay. So, I mean, I think pretty much from my early childhood, I've been all over and near technology in some way. Both of my parents are engineers. I grew up in Bulgaria, Eastern Europe. Pretty much everybody's parents here are engineers.
Gotcha.
So, my mom used to work for an innovation company in the town where I live, and she would bring almost every week something new, some gadget, something that they were experimenting with. It was cool. It was really cool. So I think from early childhood, I've always been interested into what's out there, what's new. I always wanted to have the latest phone, computers.
Gotcha.
I was never a programmer or anything like this, but I have a lot of family members involved in tech. And I moved to the States in 2003. I live in Florida. I'm right now visiting my parents in Bulgaria for the holidays.
Okay.
Well, I do live in Florida. I don't get to see much of snow, which we have here now. And it's,
I know. I see you got your Christmas hat on.
Yep, that's it. I think we should all wear one. It's not Christmas time. It's so much joy, and it's the best time of the year to be with family, I think.
So how did you get into cryptos? Like who introduced you? Kind of give us that rundown so we can kind of understand.
So it's a cool story, I think. So in the States, I did my MBA in Florida. I'm a Florida Atlantic University graduate, and you know, one thing led to another, and I really started researching some startups and innovations, and you know, what's a better place than the USA to look for stuff like this. And I think Peter Thiel really came up as one of the biggest angel investors ever. And
PayPal guy, one of the PayPal guys.
Yes. And if you follow him, he's always talking about what's the next big thing, and he's actually really disappointed with the innovations for the last 20 years. And so he's just talking about the internet. That's been the biggest thing ever, and pretty much nothing else after. So he's involved in you know, Palantir is his biggest company. He's always talking about big data. But if you look into these things like VR and AI, he's not really too positive on that. Maybe energy, electric vehicles, but he's always talking about what's the next big thing, and he believes the next big thing will just go parabolic and will be like extremely beneficial to society. And then I started listening to A16Z. I don't know if you know them, the largest VC company probably in the Valley.
Yep.
And they have a really cool podcast, by the way. I think everybody should sign up. They always talk about the latest.
Isn't Andreessen Horowitz part of that group, or
who is it? Horowitz? No, I don't think so. He's a totally. I think he has a separate.
He has his own. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So in 2015, I listened a really cool podcast with Brian Armstrong, and he's the newly announced CEO of Coinbase.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is this, Coinbase? So that's in 2015, and then he talks about Coinbase and their plans and Bitcoin and all that. And I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. And that was not the first time I heard about Bitcoin, but it was the first time I hear about Bitcoin being a tech that's already in the works. You had like millions of dollars invested by this huge VC, and this guy was amazing. I mean, he was talking about the technology like it's a world-changing, amazing benefit to society in the future. It's great, and probably the podcast is still online. So yeah, short story, that's how I got in.
Nice. Okay.
In 2015, I started researching a little more and more, and it was very flat at the time.
Yep, sure was.
But the technology itself was groundbreaking. I'm like, how is that even possible that people don't pay attention to it, and it's not spoken on TV? So I know it was risky getting in, but it's not like I put in too much. But anyway, that's how I got in. I think nobody should really talk about what exactly they did and when and how much.
Mm-mm.
But that was my first step, and then last year, 2017, I realized things are moving. I heard of the Webbot and Clif, this amazing guy. I mean, he's brilliant. And although it's really woo-woo, his Webbot, I kind of understand the technology a little bit, because he's got a crawler that's basically
correct.
Crawling the entire internet. So he does the homework for you. You don't need to go in all the forums and chats and on all the web pages. His bot, he does a decent job. This year it hasn't been that strong, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, so I guess we can go ahead and talk about that now. The Webbot on fire in 2017. Amazing, brought a lot of people. And I tell my friends this that I talk to offline just about, and they follow, the whole Clif High Webbot thing. I think Clif had actually had more footprint or impact on the cryptocurrency space than many people know. It was kind of like a secondary, third level type of information spread about his Webbots to individuals that they were picking up data as far as what's hot and what's not based on what Clif High reports were, and they didn't even know who Clif High was. They were hearing it second and third hand.
Right.
Do you think with how successful it was in 2017, what happened? What happened with 2018? Complete miss. We went from, I would say, 80% hit rate without a shadow of a doubt. I stand by that, to, I would say, darn near 0% hit rate in 2018. Kind of give me what your thoughts are on that.
So my thoughts are this. I mean, look at a lot of the companies got involved in news, and I mean, look, Microsoft acquired GitHub, and I mean that tells you a lot of the big players are acquiring news feeds, and they get involved in news. And his bot is entirely based on crawling the web, searching for news, and news are easily manipulated. Yeah. And I believe he even said it. He said that his data is being manipulated, and I believe that's what happened. And
yeah, I'm of the same. I am of the same. Like, for it to go from such a high percentage accuracy to nearly just zero, something happened, man. I agree. I think that either you've got some organization out there, whether it be CIA, FBI, whatever, NSA, maybe they put an anti-Webbot out there to eliminate his accuracy on forecasts. But with that being said, how do you feel as far as with Clif? This is directly a question about Clif High. Do you feel like he saw that and he didn't want to show it? He didn't want to come out with that data, the negative data to possibly be a self-fulfilling prophecy, or what do you think? Do you think he actually saw this coming, or no?
I don't know. I see that at the time all the negatives are happening in the market, that's the same time his health went a little downhill. Didn't he have all these issues and surgery? So that's all very emotional, I believe. So I look at it this way. Maybe he wasn't feeling emotionally available and strong enough to make statements when it comes to the market, because he realized all of his findings are affecting people's lives. I mean, people are betting on this stuff.
I know, that's got to be a huge responsibility of feeling.
So I don't know if he knew or he realized something is going on. I don't know.
Okay, so what do you think as far as his latest announcement that we're going lower in cryptos? How do you feel about that? For, you know, holding off that long, and now we're toward the tail end of the year, and now he feels that we're heading lower. What is your confidence level with that call?
So when it comes to confidence, I mean, I think you touched on this in one of your videos. I haven't seen your latest video. I don't know if you spoke about this, but it seems to me that nowadays everybody believes we're pretty much done and we might be going lower. And that's not really how the market works. When everybody's thinking and they're confident we're going to be going lower, that's exactly the time market is tricking you.
That's why, that's why I said, man, wow, Clif high again. Even though people have written him off, right, as far as following his Webbot, but people still listen. He's still very popular in this community. So when he came out to say that we were going lower, that was, I felt like we weren't going lower before he came out, because I said 3,000 would be the floor or near 3,000. But when he came out and said that, Bill, I was like, yup, I think we're not going any lower, just because he's so popular and a lot of people listen to him. If it's all about the extremes, the margins, you know. So when everyone in end of 2017, we hit 18,000, oh, we're going for 60,000, 50,000 Bitcoin. We all thought we were going higher. That's when we go lower. And as you stated, that's the same thing on the opposite side. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think we're heading lower. And, you know, I don't know if you're familiar with this whole proof of keys campaign that's going on.
I think I like it.
Yeah, I love it.
I think I like it. You know why? Because even this guy, Jeff Berwick, I think he's also been touching on the topic that the community, they need to start coming up with self-regulating type of activity. And I think that's what's happening, because if that's the case now, the exchanges might be in trouble a little bit, because they're realizing, oh my God, if everybody pulls out their Bitcoins, that might be an issue if you have too many, what do you call them, paper Bitcoin or whatever. But that's threatening to the exchanges, basically.
Could this be a catalyst for the next leg up? I'm not saying we're starting a bull run here, but we've seen what, 20% run up just about in the last couple of days. Do you think this has anything to do with proof of keys? Meaning, you know, if they don't have if the exchanges see withdrawals on the rise, then that means they have to go out into the open market and buy Bitcoin.
Right. So I see only one negative part in this activity, and that's the fact that they're doing it after the year end. So if people are holding their coins on Coinbase, for example, it's not a good time of the year to move your coins out of Coinbase in January. You should do it. You should rather do it in December, before the year end.
Yes, for tax purposes, right?
Exactly, for tax purposes. So I'm not sure how much of an effect will really have, but it's really it's a solid statement, and it's making a statement that people are in charge.
Man, I love it, man. I was so excited to hear this campaign, because if we're not going to have, if we're complaining about, and I'm one of them that complain about regulatory agencies coming into this space, then we have to have some campaigns and initiatives to self-regulate, as you stated. So I'm all for this proof of keys campaign going on. I think is a great one. What are your thoughts for what happened this year, though, man? 2018, a full wash. Did you get people into the space in 2017? I talked to Crypto Queen before I had you on, and we were talking about kind of some of our regrets. Did you get anyone in 2017 at the peak or during the whole bull run, and where are they now, and how do they feel about Bitcoin at the moment?
So that's a great question, because I did get someone in. It was my sister.
Oh, she hates you even more than she did before.
It wasn't with much, but I would say that's one of my regrets. And it comes down to emotions and how to get people in, because you got to be very careful, because everyone has their own private reason why they're going in that. Nobody can really force you going into it. You kind of need to pull people in very slowly. And of course you always care about your closest ones, your family, your friends. But I pretty much have few friends that don't talk to me because they got in what they said at the wrong time. But I look at it this way, and one way of looking at this is really, are you for the long run, and do you really believe in this technology? Because if you believe in it, 1 year is not going to make a big difference. No, and I did something last year that brings me a little more confidence. I got into it on a work level as well. I partnered with a good friend of mine who lives in Eastern Europe, and we started outsourcing programmers for tech companies. And in the US, people they appreciate Eastern Europeans when it comes to programming skills. So I get in touch with companies, and and we find them whatever programmers they need. We have Solidity programmers, Python programmers seem to be the best desirable ones. Yeah. And we also do a lot of research on ready patented products that might be acquired in the US by smaller, bigger companies. So it's really interesting, but that's more of a long-term activity, and hiring programmers is just short-term. Sometimes we have smaller projects that we're working in, and sometimes we have we have a team member that actually run a call center in the United Kingdom for over 10 years. So we're able to do that as well. And I'm saying this because I would advise everybody to somehow get involved in the community, and this will bring you so much more confidence in the technology. Because now you're part of the movement. You're not just watching and throwing money at it, because being an investor, that's like dead money. I mean,
I said this, man. I swear you're echoing exactly what I said to Clayton Kiefer, who was on before you. He has he wholesales or retails, I should say, hardware wallets, Trezors. He has a website, and so I told him that. I said, man, people, and I've said this in a video too, Bill, if you want to be a part of the next wave in wealth creation in blockchain, start you a business. If you're of that nature, if you're an entrepreneur, start you a blockchain business. Or if you're not, get a job in the blockchain industry. That's how you'll, and you're saying exactly that. That's how you will participate in a non-speculative investment aspect. That's how you'll be able to participate and benefit from this blockchain growth.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And last year, one of my frustrations probably was to watch so many people taking sides and oh, that's my favorite project. You should get involved in this technology. No, that's not the right technology. My technology is gonna win over yours. It's almost like a political debates people are having, and we all on the same boat. Actually, we all should be pushing forward. It's a life-changing technology. The society is benefiting, if not today, will be very soon. And we shouldn't see these emotional swings and people taking sides, and it's just too risky. You lose friends, you can lose family, the trust of family members. You need to kind of communicate in the proper way and be professional about this.
Yeah, I agree. And we saw a lot of that going on in 2017 and into 18, and it kind of turned from my project's better than yours in 17 to I don't know what, people were just pissed in 18 and just lashing out at any and everyone, and spreading a lot of dis and misinformation. So yeah, man, I think this bear market is good. It's a cleansing. It's what the universe does anyhow. You have seasons and you have ebb and flows and everything. Nothing goes up forever, and normally nothing goes down forever either. So yeah, I mean, how do you feel about this bear market?
So how do I feel about the bear market? I mean, I don't know anybody that feels good about it. It's taken a long time to recover. I think nobody expected this.
How much longer will this bear market go on, in your opinion? I know we don't have a crystal ball or remote viewers or psychics or anything, but let me know what your thoughts are on just how long do you expect this to go on?
So we're making a projection.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody likes those, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So what I see happening is it kind of, I think it depends a little bit on the macroeconomics. I mean, we have so much stuff going on. Now, we've been in a bull market at the stock market for like
10 years.
Right. And everybody knows these are cyclical movements. I mean,
right.
There's got to be a correction. And I think it's happening. And now if the Fed raises the interest rates, we all know it's going to affect the stock market, and most probably it's not going to be for good. No,
absolutely not. The interest rates, we should have known. I've been doing recordings all day. FOMC met actually on today, which is Wednesday, and I don't know, man. Will they raise interest rates? Will they not? If they do, I was talking to Crypto Queen about this. They're painted in a corner, man. It doesn't matter which way they go. If they continue to raise interest rates, they're going to screw over the equities market, right? And blow up the bond market. And if they start to reduce interest rates right now, they won't have anywhere to go once we turn over into the next bear market, into the next recession. If we're at zero, they can't do anything at that point. They're pretty much out of tools. So yeah.
Yeah. And it looks like if let's say people get scared and start to get out of the stock market, usually people go to gold or commodities. And now we have this new asset class that people might consider going into. And if we don't need everybody to go into it, but if we have a decent amount of investors, that will definitely affect the price. And if you look at the developments, I mean, for the last 1 year, we haven't had any bad news about this technology. Why would people not consider it?
I think the only reason that you have your traditional investors, traditional institutional investors, hedge fund managers and stuff, why they won't touch cryptos is because of the volatility. It's just simply too volatile for their models, their investment models. A 10% retracement or correction is a big move for those types of guys. You're talking about trillions of dollars. So I don't see the masses doing it, but you'll have the fringe guys, the ones that are like high risk, they're really forward thinking. Those hedge fund guys will definitely throw some money at it. And as you stated, we only need a little bit, man. We could easily see 2 to 3 trillion spill over from traditional markets in a crisis, and guess what? We would be 2 times or 3 times as high as we were at the all-time highs in late December. So there you have it, right?
Volatility was a big topic this year for me. Like one of my biggest regrets is not realizing soon enough how manipulated this market is. I mean, it's a very small market. At the end of the day,
very small, thinly traded. Yeah, the order books are very thin.
Yeah, and we're not really, you know, everybody's talking about Bitcoin 2.0, but we're not there yet. Look what happened with the stupid crypto kitties. That was probably the only project that went crazy, although it wasn't this year, it was the end of last year. But it proved that we don't have the infrastructure ready.
Yeah, we're not there yet.
Technology is not, you know, talking about scalability, we're not there yet.
And I said that to an individual the other day because I did a video about EOS and how well it's doing, and from a technical standpoint, it's superior than all of them. However, to be critical of EOS, it's still difficult to use, and no normal person on the street is going to use any dApp on EOS. So absolutely, even the best of the blockchains from a technical standpoint are still, we're still not ready. We're still not there.
We need this infrastructure that the power users will use. You know, everyday programmer will get on it and start working on a project. And it's not there yet. I mean, people don't realize most of these projects are built on Ethereum, which is crazy. It's completely slow, expensive, and the end user have to pay for some of the dApps they build. They build them in a way that the end user have to pay for using the dApp. Something is off with the whole system.
Yeah.
We need, like, I don't know, Neo or Lisk or EOS. I mean, there's a lot of projects that are aiming and going that way, but we really need one other coin than Bitcoin to make it in 2019. This is it. Like, we need something else than Bitcoin to lead the market a little bit, because I think
well, how about, I agree, but how about we start to differentiate, right? There's a difference between Bitcoin and what you just, the projects you listed, Neo, Lisk, EOS. They're even Ethereum. I'm very critical of Ethereum, but they are structurally different concepts than what Bitcoin is. And so I just want to see us decouple from Bitcoin. You know what I mean? Like, that's a cryptocurrency. That's a speculative asset. Unfortunately, is not what what it was initially intended to be, which was like a digital currency to use day to day. But whatever, things change, initial goals change, or and just things just change as technology grows. But we need to decouple. When do you see that decoupling happening, and what will it take for that decoupling to happen? I should ask.
That's exactly what I said. We need one coin to make it big. I mean, one project to prove that they can accomplish what they've been talking about. I mean, do you think
gaming will do that? Blockchain and gaming.
I have this in my notes, because gamers are huge on they're very easily adaptable people to new tech, I believe, and they're constantly using virtual products that you can easily purchase.
They're using virtual currencies right now too. They're just private, right? Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, totally. So I think gaming could be one. Also, I think social networking and Facebook and whatever, it's YouTube. It's past due for a change. I think we're looking for some kind of a new tech to take a lead there and kind of help with this old advertising model that they have, because right now the advertising model is getting everybody in trouble. I mean, look at Facebook and Google, they're all getting sued because of their advertising model.
Yeah.
So I have a feeling something some blockchain might help that,
Interesting. Yeah, I agree with you totally there. What projects, Bill, are you most excited about going forward in the future?
So I would say gaming projects.
Okay.
I also like the idea of Pillar. I was just reading today, they released their wallet. I don't know if they're gonna be the wallet, but I have a feeling that people are having difficult is really transacting and using in a safe way their cryptos. So look at this now. We have all these issues with the exchanges. So people are like, okay, I'm not gonna hold my coins on exchanges. So what is the other option? The most safe option is believed to be hardware wallets, but they're not that easy to use. And especially if you wanna make purchases or send coins, you gotta, it's crazy. You gotta take your wallet with you.
It's the equivalent of having money in a bank vault at your local bank, right? So you gotta only go, you know, you can access it anytime, but you know, I'm just kind of giving a comparison. You gotta drive to the bank, find a parking space, go inside, sign in, you know, they'll walk you back, you got your key, open it. Yep.
And then you gotta type in this address. You can make a mistake. I mean, it doesn't end. I know people that lost a lot of money with making mistakes, and then it's not really, how do you keep track of everything you do, and where do you keep your backup? And
yeah,
we need something. We need something there. So I do like the idea of that project, and also the finance industry. You know, I don't know if it's Veritasium or a similar project, but they might make a huge difference, because in a global in the global economy we have issues, and there are countries that need help. I mean, look at Venezuela with their petro. That might make a big difference. That, I think that's one of the biggest experiment.
Oh, absolutely. You know, and I agree with you there, because, you know, I'm not really fond of Maduro and a lot of his tactics, but what this shows is that you've got a country like his in a desperate situation, and they're coming up with different ideas. And again, I don't think it'll probably succeed, but it's that step towards something that will, that I love with that whole Petro project. So you'll start to see more countries that are sanctioned by the US. They'll be creative and create their own cryptocurrencies to circumvent sanctions and so forth and so on. So hey, I like it. Like you said, I like the idea. I like that they're attempting to do that.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that you have an entire country interested, that makes a big difference.
Cool, man. So any final thoughts for the Webbot members and subs watching this right now? Yeah,
my final thoughts are this. I think we need to understand that we're normal people. We're all retailers, and right now we're being pressured by the big guys. And those guys are coming up with their tools. I mean, they're gonna have trading bots, and they're gonna have trading desks. They're what they call the market makers. Okay, we're nobody. I mean, and we gotta support each other, and we gotta take care of our emotions, because emotions play a huge role in this. And if you're not controlling your emotions, most likely you're gonna lose. So you gotta be smart. I don't know, you go meditate or get involved in the industry in a way that makes you feel more comfortable. Rather, you write, you get involved in forums, or you write blogs, or you work for the industry, and we just gotta be more comfortable with going long term.
I think we got spoiled with 17. Two factors. You know, how skyrocketing the prices went, but also even with the Webbot, we those who followed it, we got spoiled, and we're still looking for those shortcuts, those one leg up type of things, right, to get us those profits again in the future. And I think if we just take a step back, it'll be like you said, it'll be healthier if you look at it as from a long-term perspective. Learn how to code, start your blockchain business, do something that's productive and actually adds value to blockchain industry, instead of, because you buying Bitcoin or speculating on Bitcoin going up or down, it's not adding value.
Totally.
Well, cool, man. Bill, I really appreciate you coming on. You really shocked me there. I didn't know who you were until you came on. It was good meeting you out in New York last year, or was that earlier this year? It's all been a blur.
It was earlier this year.
This year. Hope to definitely meet up with you again in the future, man. Again, Bill H from the Webbot rooms. This is another episode of Kicking It with Crypto Blood. We're out of here. Holla.